Have you ever wondered why entire nations can forget decisive moments in their recent past? In a world flooded with information, the concept of memory holes is no longer just the stuff of dystopian fiction. It's a living, breathing part of our modern society. Let's journey into the hidden corners of our collective memory, where even the most consequential events seem to vanish into thin air. Consider the turbulence of the Trump presidency, a period marked by controversy, upheaval, and relentless media scrutiny. Yet, millions today appear to have amnesia about some of its darkest chapters. What drives this mass forgetfulness? According to memory experts featured in the Frontline Newsletter, our minds don't simply recall facts like files on a hard drive. Memories are constantly being rewritten, influenced by current emotions, group narratives, and the overwhelming flow of new events. Psychology calls this motivated forgetting. In times of social or political stress, people often unconsciously suppress painful or inconvenient memories, making it easier to move forward, or at least feel like they are. But these gaps in recall aren't only about what we want to forget. There's a phenomenon sweeping the internet called the Mandela Effect, named after the widespread false memory that Nelson Mandela died in prison decades before he became South Africa's president. Across online forums, millions report vivid memories of events that never happened. Movie lines misremembered, logos subtly altered, or historical facts bent out of shape. How does this happen? Cognitive scientists distinguish between distortion and pure omission. Memory is reconstructive, not reproductive. When people repeatedly see a certain version of a story or are exposed to group consensus about a fact, their own recollection can be subtly altered. Mass media, rapid news cycles, and sensational headlines all accelerate this process, creating gaps where inconvenient history can quietly slip away. The idea of memory holes, first introduced in George Orwell's novel 1984, describes deliberate attempts to erase uncomfortable truths. But in our era, it's not always a shadowy authority doing the erasing. Sometimes it's us, our own psychological defenses, our need to fit in with our tribe, or our desire to simplify a chaotic world. Our minds can make the past less daunting, more palatable, sometimes at the cost of accuracy or hard-earned lessons. As documented in the Frontline Newsletter, when asked about some of the most troubling incidents from recent political history, large segments of the population simply don't recall details, or brush them off as fake news. This collective forgetting is more than just distraction. It's a coping mechanism, honed by digital networks that amplify trending topics while silently letting others fade away. We're not powerless, though. Memory experts suggest that actively engaging with history, seeking out diverse viewpoints, revisiting investigative journalism, and questioning viral narratives can help guard against memory holes. The act of remembering, it turns out, is not only personal but deeply political. As the Mandela Effect demonstrates, even our mistakes in memory can bind communities. Whole groups marveling at shared misrecollections, wondering how their brains fooled them. But behind the harmless fun lies a cautionary tale. If entire populations can sincerely misremember the past, who protects the truth? If we ignore how memories slip away or how false ones are constructed, we risk losing the context and cautionary lessons those memories provide. In the end, our ability to remember shapes not just our personal stories, but the direction of society itself. So next time you come across a headline you can barely recall, or find yourself certain of an event that never happened, pause and ask, what else have we forgotten? And who stands to benefit from that silence? The battle to remember is the front line of an informed democracy. Let's choose to remember, fully, critically, and together.